caught in that weird twilight between wakefulness and slumber when the phone on my night table jangles. The last time I looked at the clock, it was just after 3 a.m. A glance at those glowing red numbers tells me it's now 4:30. I feel lucky to have gotten a full hour and a half of sleep. "Burkholder," I rasp.
"Chief, it's Mona. Skid says there's been a shooting out at the plank farm."
The words jolt me upright. "Anyone hurt?" I envision an accidental shooting, someone putting a bullet in his foot while cleaning his .30-06.
"He said it was a major crime scene with multiple fatalities."
Multiple fatalities. For an instant, I think I've misunderstood. Then my brain clicks into place, and I get to my feet. "He get the shooter?"
"I don't know. Skid sounded pretty shook up."
4 full-time officers comprise my small police force. Skid is one of my most experienced. He's not the sensitive type, nor is he easily rattled, so I know it's got to be bad. "Get an ambulance out there, will you?"
"Sure, and I called Doc Coblentz."
"Good." Dr. Ludwig Coblentz is a local pediatrician and acting coroner for Holmes County. "Tell him I'll meet him out there." My mind spins through possible scenarios as I cross to the closet and yank my uniform off of a hanger. The planks are Amish. I know many Amish families keep rifles on hand for hunting and livestock slaughter. They are a peaceable, pacifistic society. Violent crime is rare. I can't get my mind around the fact that there are multiple victims. Maybe because that tells me the shooting was no accident. Painter's Mill is a small town located in the heart of Ohio's farm country. About a third of the 5,300 residents are Amish. I myself was born Amish in this very town just over 30 years ago. Though 80% of Amish children joined the church at the age of 18, I was one of the few who chose not to be baptized. But roots run deep, especially if you're Amish, and it was those roots that brought me back. I've been the chief of police for nearly 3 years now. It's a good job. Painter's Mill is a good place to live. A wholesome town in which to raise a family. I want to believe major crime doesn't happen here, but experience has taught me even small, idyllic towns are not immune to violence. I'm acquainted with most of the local families, both Amish and English. I'm fluent in Pennsylvania Dutch, the Amish dialect. Though I no longer live my life according to Gelassenheit, the foundation of Amish values, I have great respect for the culture. It's a respect born of genuine understanding, not only of the people, but the plain life in general, and the religion so integral to both. As I drive toward the Plank farm, it strikes me that I don't know much about Bonnie or Amos Plank. I search my memory and recall that they are new to the area, having relocated from Lancaster County about a year ago. They have several children and run a small dairy operation. As I start down the gravel lane, I wonder what problems might have followed them here from Pennsylvania. I arrive to find Skid's cruiser parked behind a buggy. The emergency strobes cast red and blue light onto the house and outbuildings, giving the farm the appearance of some weird rock video. Grabbing my maglite, I get out, draw my .38 revolver, and start toward the back door. I'm midway there when my beam illuminates a bloody handprint on the jamb. A quiver of unease goes through me when I spot the shiny black droplets on the concrete porch and sidewalk. Shoving open the door, I step into a large kitchen. Moonlight slants through the window above the sink, but it's not enough to cut through the shadows. "Skid!" I call out. "In here!" The stench of blood fills my nostrils as I traverse the kitchen. I go through the doorway into the next room. The first thing I see is the yellow-white slash of Skid's flashlight beam. We're standing in a large room, backlit by 2 tall, narrow windows. I make a 360-degree sweep with my flashlight. What happened? Even as I ask the question, my beam lands on the first body. A middle-aged Amish male lies face down in the center of the room. "We got 2 more over there." Skid's voice seems to come from a great distance. My hand threatens to shake as I run my beam along the floor, but I hold it steady as the light reveals 2 more bodies. My vision tunnels when I realize the victims are children. The first is a teenaged boy, gangly arms and legs, bad haircut. Lying prone, he wears a faded work shirt, suspenders, and trousers that are slightly too short from a recent growth spurt. His hands are bound behind his back. I see the black shimmer of blood at the back of his head. A few feet away, a younger boy lies on his side in an ocean of blood, some of which has soaked into a homemade rug. I guess him to be 9 or 10 years old. He's wearing a nightshirt. Like the other boy, his hands are bound. The soles of his feet are dirty, and I know that just scant hours before, he'd run barefoot and carefree through this house. From the pale oval of his face, cloudy eyes seem to stare right at me. I see blood on his cheek and realize the bullet exited through his mouth, tearing through his lips, blowing out several teeth. It's a surreal scene, and for the span of several heartbeats, I can't get my mind around it. Shock is like a battering ram, assaulting my brain. Dead kids, I think, and a hot bloom of outrage burgeons in my chest. The urge to go to them, perform CPR, try to save them, is powerful. But I know they're gone. The last thing I want to do is contaminate the scene.